Hi, I'm Rob D. from Data Visual, and we're here at Data Visual on display in the nation's capital here in Ottawa, Ontario. We're here at the Ottawa Convention Center East, which is at 200 Coventry Road, just off of Vanier Parkway. And I have the great pleasure today to be here with Patrick from NETGEAR AV, NETGEAR AV Switches. Patrick, how you doing today?
I'm doing great. Thank you for having me.
Yeah? So today we want to talk to our viewers about what we're showing here at Data Visual on display here in Ottawa, and what we're going to be showing in Toronto on Friday. So what's new with NETGEAR AV Switches, and what do we want the audience to know?
Yeah, a lot of times when I'm here in the booth, I try to make sure everyone understands all the resources available to them, especially from a support standpoint. You know, we've got a full team of North American engineers that are all IT professionals that can help anywhere in the pre-sale or post-sale process. So from designing entire systems and providing drawings and bill of material, we help from that side all the way down to the same team of IT professionals providing, you know, the troubleshooting support to make sure that the networks are optimized and are working properly. So some people that come visit don't know that part, which I try to make sure everyone understands. The support side is, of course, part of the NETGEAR package when you're purchasing a switch. But we do have multiple switches that are new for 2025, and a lot of them are helping us do more and more in the broadcast side. So a lot of our switches have the necessary clocking to be the Grandmaster or boundary clock.
Wow.
We've had 2 switches already in the market for almost 2 years now that have been doing that, and we've added 4 more. So now in total we have 6 switches that can do 2110 and IPMX.
That's what I was going to ask you next.
Right. How's
NETGEAR AV doing in SMPTE 2110, and what's the offering? So thank you for letting us know that.
So the great part is we're now allowing a lot of our partners to kind of go to market with a switch that doesn't eat up an entire budget for things like podcasts, town halls, simple workflows that relate to 2110, to be able to take that content and do, you know, uncompressed editing like the way a lot of content creators and editors want to do. And so we're hopefully enabling the industry to do more of that workflow at a very reasonable price point as opposed to what it was before we came out with these switches. You know, our switches are literally a fraction of the cost of what some of the others in the industry that have that same capability, a fraction of what they cost. So,
that's
you're talking well under $20,000 for switches that can do 2110.
So there's lots of managed switches on the market. What is the key advantage to buying a NETGEAR AV managed switch?
Yeah,
if you're in the AV space.
Right. And that's the thing, the exact point you're making is that it's in the AV space. The key advantage is that we've made a product for the industry that knows how to handle multicast, knows how to essentially prioritize the right traffic when you allow the switch to then, again, know the differences between all the different protocol. It's not really hard to set up and create all of those VLANs to then isolate the traffic properly and allow the switch to do essentially the right calculations in navigating all of that. A lot of capabilities that include now PoE++, as we are continuing to learn. More and more of our manufacturer partners are creating devices that are very power hungry.
Yeah.
Right? So we're doing things that fit the industry, and essentially we've built these switches off of what everyone is requesting from our industry, right? So it's a very, very particular product, again, built off of a lot of the recommendations and requests from our partners.
I was looking at your software the other day, which is called
Engage.
Engage.
Right.
And I was impressed with how many partners in AV you actually have that have already engaged, and their libraries are already included for configuration. How many partners do we have right now for NETGEAR?
Yeah, so
for Engage.
Basically, if we go back to when I started in 2022, I was already impressed that we had 80 partners in the manufacturing world. You fast forward to today, and we have over 450 partners.
450 partners.
The manufacturing side of AV-related products. Yeah.
That is absolutely impressive.
It's crazy to think about.
So that's just about the who's who of AV.
Pretty much.
If I'm new in the space and my specialty is programming or audio and I have to go to a job site, I can bring up Engage and probably find just about every partner I need.
Exactly.
And if I pick the right partners on the right ports, am I going to get a configuration that's most likely going to work most of the time? Or do I need more than that?
That's basically what you need, and that's what a lot of people tell us, especially when I'm here in the booth. They walk up and tell me, yeah, we use NETGEAR, and it just works. And really that's what it boils down to is essentially we've created a switch where we have these profiles from all the different manufacturer partners like you referenced that make it to where you're not leaving any room for error in the configuration of a port, a configuration of the switch, and a configuration of literally 10 switches at once. All of the recommended settings are there in that template, in that profile, as they've been given to us by these other manufacturers. Yeah.
Is there anything new and exciting coming that's not here that we have permission to talk about today?
I can just reference that essentially we're going to keep getting switches that are bigger and bigger, especially things that will help us do larger and larger broadcast applications. So some switches, we've already got multiple switches that have 100 gig fiber ports on them. We have 3 switches that have 400 gig fiber ports on them. And again, we're talking about switches that have a non-blocking backplane, so you have full access.
Right.
We're only going bigger than that to the extent where at some point in the next 12 months or so, you're going to see switches that can do hundreds and hundreds of gigs on multiple ports.
One thing that impresses me the most is that for years we were based on using IT switches, and in audio or in video, our gear always has all the outputs in the back. And then we had to run cable all the way to the front, or we had to mount the switch backwards. AV-friendly switches, folks, where the ports are actually in the back. So it lines up in the rack with everything else that you have, which just makes it more AV-friendly, makes your racks neater, makes you more of a pro. Right. So good on NETGEAR for identifying in the AV community what was really required for switches. Right. And actually, because we're not the biggest industry in the world compared to other industries that need switches, but you guys have done an incredibly solid job of identifying the needs and voice of the customer and bringing something that really has been a great asset to the AV industry.
Right. And like you said, identifying the need as well as just taking the recommendations from all the different people in the industry that have wanted to do more things over IP.
Yeah.
But there have just been limitations from a lot of times a resource standpoint. A lot of the integrators that we work with only have so many people that are capable of deploying something over IP. Right? So what we've done, again, is create a platform and a product that fits the industry and allows these different partners of ours in the integration world of AV to do more things over IP, which then has now scaled to a lot of our manufacturer partners are now leaning further into their products that are over IP.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Well, I think we're out of time today, Patrick. I really want to thank you for coming today, being on the tour with us for Data Visual on Display. We're here in Ottawa. We're here till 3. We're going to be in Toronto from 8 till 5 on Friday at the Red Rose Banquet Hall, which is at 410 in Derry Road. Expecting a large crowd there. Come down and see Patrick, learn what's new with NETGEAR. I want to give a special shout out to LiveView, which is the technology that we're using. You can also see at the show that's going live from here to the cloud to your screen on LinkedIn and YouTube. And also to my friend John at Social 180 Group. He's sort of doing the production in the back. If you've got an event or something you have happening around the world where you want to broadcast directly in live, real time, reach out to Social 180 Group, and John could definitely help you with that. To sign up for Data Visual on Display, look down on the bottom of your screen. You're going to see a QR code there. And thank you so much for tuning in. Look forward to seeing you all soon. Thank you.
Thank you.